My girlfriend said she hated labels at my birthday dinner, so I took her words way too literally. My girlfriend said she wasn't ready for labels, so I gave her exactly what she asked for. I'd been with Brooke 7 months when she dropped it during my birthday dinner at a fancy steakhouse I'd saved for. She cut her steak and said, "I don't want to be your girlfriend anymore. Labels are restrictive. Let's just vibe." My fork stopped. "It's my birthday," I said. "That's why I'm being honest. No pressure, no expectations," she said like it was a gift. I stared at the $200 check folder and forced a calm nod. "Okay, no labels," I said. She smiled in relief and said, "You're so mature. Most guys would freak out and get possessive." The next morning I went to HR at work and changed my emergency contact from Brooke back to my mom. When they asked why, I said, "Brooke isn't my girlfriend anymore." That night she came over like normal, and while she picked a movie, she noticed my phone wallpaper. It used to be a photo of us, but now it was my golden retriever, Murphy. "Why'd you change it?" she asked, hurt. I said, "You're not my girlfriend, so it felt weird having a random girl I'm casually seeing on my phone." Murphy's family. Her face tightened. "Random girl?" I shrugged. "What should I call you then?" She called me rude. I said, "I'm just using your rules." Labels kept showing up after that, and every time, I followed her rule. At her sister's wedding, her aunt walked up smiling and said, "You must be the boyfriend we've heard about." I smiled back and said, "Oh no, I'm not her boyfriend. I'm just a guy Brooke spends time with. We're keeping it casual and label-free." The aunt's smile died, and Brooke went bright red. She yanked my arm and whispered, "What the heck was that?" "Your words," I said. "No labels." Later, the photographer called for couples photos. Brooke tried to pull me in, and I stepped out. "We're not a couple," I said, loud enough for the photographer to hear. Brooke stood alone while real couples posed, and the photographer kept glancing at her like he'd been handed a weird problem. Afterward, she hissed that I embarrassed her. I said, "How is it embarrassing if it's true?" 2 weeks later, her parents invited me to their anniversary dinner at their country club. I declined politely. Brooke called, furious. "They wanted you there. Dad was even talking about a golf membership." I said, "That's a boyfriend thing, and I'm not that." She snapped, "You're being ridiculous." I said, "I'm being consistent with your boundaries." From then on, she started trying to pull me back in without saying the word girlfriend. After the country club invite, she started getting jumpy anytime someone asked about us. At a bar with her friends, one guy slapped my back and said, "So you're the boyfriend?" Brooke laughed fast and tried to answer for me, but I said, "Nope, just hanging out." Her friends went quiet for a second, then changed the topic like nothing happened. Later in the bathroom line, she hissed, "Can you stop doing that in front of people?" I said, "Stop doing what? Answering honestly?" She tried to post a photo of us on Instagram with a heart caption, then deleted it when I asked what label that was. She started texting me good morning again, then got mad when I answered hours later like it wasn't serious. She'd say, "Don't leave me on red," and I'd say, "We're keeping it chill, remember?" Some nights she'd cling to my arm in public like she was trying to claim me without saying it. She left a hoodie at my place, then a toothbrush, then little things in my bathroom like she lived there. She started saying "we" again, and bringing up the future like it was casual. One night she pushed her plate away and said, "Maybe we should talk about where this is heading." I said, "Where what's heading?" "We're vibing, remember?" Her smile twitched. "Don't you want something real?" she asked. I said, "You told me labels were restrictive. I'm feeling pretty unrestricted." Her eye actually started twitching. The breaking point came at her company's Christmas party. Her boss shook my hand and said, "So, you're Brooke's boyfriend?" Brooke's eyes begged me to let it slide. I smiled and said, "Actually, I'm just a guy Brooke enjoys spending time with. She's not into traditional relationship structures." Her boss blinked. "So, are you seeing other people?" he asked. I said, "Brooke prefers things open and casual. No pressure." I could feel coworkers listening, like someone had turned up the volume on our table. On the way out, she kept saying, "Please, not here," like I was the one causing it. Brooke laughed too loud and dragged me out early. In the car, she finally cracked. "Fine, I want to be your girlfriend. I want labels and commitment. I was wrong," she said. Her voice shook on that last part. I pulled into her driveway, turned off the engine, and looked at her. "That's sweet," I said, "but I'm enjoying this no labels thing. It's so freeing. Why ruin what we have with boyfriend-girlfriend drama?" Now she's saying I'm petty for going label-free too. Was I wrong?